It's good to have you here. Thanks for making the time.
Thank you very much for having me as a guest.
Yeah. So I'd love it if you would share a bit about your business and how you started it, why you started it, just to help the listeners know, who you are and where you're from.
Yep. Well, I'm a cosmetic chemist and my business is Botanical Skincare Lab. I started it just over 3 years ago now. And I studied to be a cosmetic chemist because I've always loved making things. And I used to make my own skincare products. I make our own sourdough, kombucha, kefir. I just love making things. So, skincare, of course, I would make that as well. But I would find other people's formulas off the internet and make those. But I wanted to know how to substitute ingredients if I didn't like or didn't have some of their ingredients. And I also wanted to make sure that my formulas were safe and that to know what the shelf life from them would be and just to understand that a bit more. So I studied to be a cosmetic chemist, just partly for my
As you do.
and I absolutely loved it, learning the science behind all the different ingredients and how they go together. It's just absolutely fascinating. I just really, really enjoy it.
It's so cool. It reminds me of Charles Darwin studying the ants and coming up with evolution. Kim gets into the plants and off you go. So when did you start? When did you start your business?
1st of September 2022. I started on the 1st of September because it's the first day of spring. So I thought that was a beautiful day to start.
That's beautiful. And so you've already achieved what the majority of small businesses do not achieve, and that's staying in business past the 2-year mark. So congratulations on those first steps. Yeah. Why did you start it, particularly as a business rather than just, making your own skincare products?
I think there was a bit of a need for it for locally made, well loved products.
But yeah,
Yeah, just a bit of a need. Saw a
it's a
need in the
pretty rare
market.
thing these days, isn't it, with everything getting closed into the bigger brands to have that artisanal product manufacturing. I guess manufacturing's a bit of a not really the right word, is it? But for handcrafted things made with love.
Yeah,
That well,
yeah, there's a lot of people around still who want products made by someone who really cares about what goes into them.
I think there's a big energetic aspect of that too. Um, when it literally is made by somebody who's passionate about it rather than just stamped out in some factory. So that's beautiful. What was your first product that you sold, that you made and then sold?
I think the Kakadu Plum Night Cream, I think that was
Hmm.
one of the first ones that I formulated, and that one's been very popular right from the beginning. It's such a beautiful ingredient, and yeah, it's a lovely product.
It's very light too. I've used it. I find that I just want to kind of bathe in it. It's lovely. So yeah. And what about I guess did you have any fears about starting your own business? Or did you just dive in?
I think with everything that we do, there's risk factors of things that could go wrong. But I was, when I get very determined about something, I try to find ways around things. And, there's always going to be roadblocks to things. It's how we look at them. If we try to obviously look ahead to what could be the problems and then look at creative ways around them. And yeah, there's always different things that come up, but just try and find different ways to get through it.
Something that you said to me the other day that I really appreciated was that you only put into the business what the business has generated as far, you're not sort of going into debt for it, which is to me refreshing. I think people overextend themselves and then they get very distressed when costs rise or supply chains break and all the usual things that happen in a business. And I guess I could liken it to the crypto bros going in leverage, and then they get washed out. Whereas if they've just bought and hold, they're fine. They can just sit and wait. And so for you, you've taken that really measured approach to building your business, but it hasn't seemed to hold you back one bit from what I can tell. You have not only created beautiful products, but you've created a breakthrough product as well. Tell me about that one.
Yep, the Terra Pure clay face mask pods. Yeah, it was such a unique product. There was nothing at all like it that I could base my formula on, because I wanted to make my products as zero waste as I could, because there's so much waste in the skincare industry. People use their jar and put it in the bin, and they think that it might be going off to recycling, but there's just so much waste. So I started making solid bars, like a shampoo bar, a face cleansing bar, and I wanted to make a clay mask that was zero waste. So I actually started to make something that was kind of a disc like that. And I thought that people could use it, put it on their skin, and then it just would use a little bit each time, like the shampoo bar or soap bar. So I did a reel on my social media, because I get awesome feedback from people from social media. So I did a reel, and someone said to me afterwards, yeah, it looks great, but then I've got to leave it out to dry afterwards and then remember to put it away, and that's going to be a hassle. And I try to make all my products as easy to use as possible. So
Like that.
I thought, how can I make this really, really easy so there's no barriers for people using it? And I made a prototype, and I had it sitting on the bathroom shelf, and I was going to test it out when I had a shower. And then I accidentally dropped it. And I was so annoyed, because I was all excited, ready to use it. And I just looked, and it was all over the bathroom floor. So I just picked up the pieces which I actually still have in the container here. I picked up all the pieces, put it in a container on the bathroom bench, and I thought, I'm going to deal with that later. I had my shower, and it was sitting there. And then a few days later, it was still sitting there. And I thought, these little bits, I don't want to waste them. I'll just get a little bit and put it in my hand and use it. And I grabbed a bit and I put it in my hands, and I went, this solves that problem. If it's just a little bit, then people don't need to put it to dry. They don't need to measure it. They don't, it's just as easy as can be. And I'll never forget the surge of excitement that just rushed through me when I went.
What a happy accident. So do you have a current model that you can just show you in comparison?
Yeah. So this is what it looks like now. It
Anybody
works
listening and not
is
seeing the video? Yeah.
you just put it in the palm of your hand like that,
Mhm.
add just a few drops of water, and crush it, mix it into a paste and put it on your face. Leave it
Mhm.
for 2 minutes. And then I usually do it just before I have a shower, and get in
Mhm.
the shower and wash it off so that there's no bowls. Because I used to love clay face masks, but it
Mm.
would be a hassle. You've got to go get the bowl, and then you'd have to get a measuring spoon and put your glasses on so that you can read the jar to see how much. And if it was in grams, it was just, and then when you finished, then you had the jar that you had to wash up, and it was just too hard. And half the time I
Too
just,
easy to think, "I'll do that another day," isn't it?
yeah. Whereas this
Mm.
is just so easy. Just have them in the bathroom drawer, just grab one, put it in your hand, crush it, put it on. And then there's no bowls to wash up, no spoons, no measuring. It's just as easy as can be. And it feels beautiful too. And I also wanted to make the ingredients list as recognizable as possible, that people could pick it up
Mhm.
and go, yep, I know what those
Where we
ingredients
know what the
are.
word means.
Yeah, there's not 50 long ingredients that you think, "Oh, I hope that's safe to put on my skin." I wanted to make all ingredients that people go, "Oh, yeah, yeah, good, okay, yep, I know that that's safe to use."
That's beautiful. They do feel good too. I know I've said to you before, when I bought it and tried it the first time, and I'm not, a beauty guru. I'm just happy sort of plugging away, doing my work on my own and not really getting dressed up or be flashy. But, yeah, I used that. As you say, it was very easy to use. It wasn't messy. It was quick. Like, I literally just sort of pop it on and then go make the bed or something, and by the time I do that, it's dry and it's ready to rinse off. But I was amazed that my skin literally felt like satin. I went, "Holy moly, this is beautiful. I love it." So it's become my Saturday morning routine.
Oh, that's so lovely.
Do the mask on my face and water the pot plants, and and it's a beautiful treat. I love it. Tell me, you had some challenges with packaging these little
I
ones, didn't
did,
you?
because there was and finding, so when I made the discovery that the little tiny things was the way to go, I had a great problem, because I jumped on the internet and I searched and I searched and I searched, and there was nothing else like it, because I wanted to see if anyone else had done anything similar, and there was
Mm.
nothing at all similar. So to get the size of it right and the molds, I had to order quite a few different molds to work out, yeah, what shape and what size. And then it took a very long time to get the formula just right to work for it. And then packaging, there was because they're made to crush really easily. So for transporting them, posting them, that was a real issue because they were so fragile, yet they had to still hold their shape. Yeah, it's very, very exciting that this is the exciting packaging that I have
That's beautiful.
now.
That's so
Yeah.
like retro glam.
And because I like to make everything, of course, I make these. I make them all myself.
We won't ask how you find the time, but that is great.
And look, they even have beautiful little cork feet on the bottom
Yeah.
of
So,
them. And they come in.
what are they made from?
They're made from these ones are made from Jesmonite, this product,
Mhm.
and I've got 4 different colours at the moment, and they're all based on the moods of the Fraser Coast. This one's Ocean
Oh,
Whispers, it's the green colour,
yes.
and then I also have these beautiful trays to go with them.
They're
And
good.
this is called the Pebble Drift Tray, and
Yeah.
that's in the Ocean Whispers colours as well. So they just sit really, really nicely on there.
That is the most glam little set. I mean, really, it's just gorgeous.
So exciting. It's all made with love. And do you know, one of the most exciting things about making these is everyone is completely different. The colors in it, when I swirl the colors together, I never quite know how it's going to turn out, the colors. And when I unmold them for the first time, I just every single time it just takes my breath away looking at them at how don't know if you can see the colors.
So you're the only person I know who's turned a packaging challenge and the vagaries of dealing with things being chucked around in courier vans and, you know, parcel post, and you've turned it into handcrafted, literally one of a kind for every piece. Retro, glam, beautiful container, tray. I love that. And then they could just be reused afterwards or refilled or that's so beautiful. How much
Yeah.
nicer is that than cardboard and plastic?
It's nice, and I mean, that will never ever go to landfill. That could always
No.
be used or re-gifted to someone once you've collected all the 4 shades of the
So
yeah.
for anybody listening without the video, I would probably describe it as like a retro glam square kind of perfume bottle it evokes the shape with the lid. It's just beautiful. Little cube container that the mask pods can sit in. I think that's a triumph. I think it's lovely.
Well, yeah, I wanted my brand to be unique and just everything from a place of love. And with my brand, I wanted to make sure that I enjoy doing everything for it because I think that shines through. There's nothing that I don't enjoy doing for it.
So as far as being well received, with retail sales, it's also being picked up by stockists now. Is that correct?
Yes, yeah, yeah. At quite a few stockers, so that's very exciting.
So whereabouts is it stocked so far?
It's stocked at a few places in Hervey Bay at Replenish Refill, Go Natural Foods, at the art gallery here,
Mhm.
and we're also over at Gari at the Kingfisher Bay Resort.
Beautiful, beautiful. I love that. So retail, wholesale sales growing and the recognition continues. How many awards have you won to date?
Well, let's see. Last week there was there was the Gold Stevie that was announced at the Marriott in New York.
Uh-huh. And
Um,
what was that for? What sort of category or what they call that one?
That one was for businesses under 3 years because when I applied, my business was
Yeah,
under
okay.
3 years. And tonight, I'm a finalist in the Fraser Coast Business and Tourism Innovation in the innovation category for the awards in town here. Yeah, I've won quite a few other gold Stevies and being invited to the Orangery at Kensington Palace to get the Gold Green Apple Award. That was quite exciting.
As you do. Congratulations, Kim.
It was still very surreal being yeah.
That's amazing just to be so well recognized when the business is really still, growing up and finding its place in the world. But it's so well grounded in the Fraser Coast and the community there as well, and then in your natural skills and talents and the love that you pour into it. I just think it's a beautiful recipe for a skincare brand, and I think it's going to go a long way. What would you say would be your challenges that you've faced so far as, I guess, getting the word out to let people know?
I think because I didn't have a big advertising marketing budget, back to what we were saying before, how I only spend in my business what I make from sales. So at first I found it was quite very, very restrictive, thinking, I want to do this and I want to do, like, there was so much that I wanted to do, but I didn't have the funds to do it. And I really felt like it was holding me back. And I think if I had this, if I had a pot of money, could do this and advance my brand further. But then looking back, I think it hasn't been a bad thing at all, because it's really made me think carefully about every dollar that I spend for my brand to make sure
Mm.
that it's the best thing. And when I look back now on things that I wish that I couldn't, that I could have spent it on, I can see now, oh, well, I'm glad that I didn't, because yeah, it wouldn't have worked out as well as I thought. So even though it's been restrictive, it's really made me think very, very carefully about what funds I do spend for it.
I think that intentional approach is, as I said before, it's refreshing. I think it's wise because there are a million shiny objects out there. Like, we scroll our feed and the latest tools and tactics and tips and courses and, apps. It would it's very easy to burn money on things that actually don't perform as much as you hope that they would. And just to be more circumspect in the way that you allocate your resources. Honestly, I just love hearing that because I see too many people just acting before they think and then wondering why they don't have any profits in their business because they've kind of just fretted it away. Maybe it's FOMO. Maybe they feel like if their competitor's using a tool and they're not, that they're not as good. And I think that's a common thing with brands. And it's rubbish. You use the tools that suit your purposes. And I think building a business to suit who you are and the lifestyle that you want to have and the way you want to serve your customers and the products you want to bring to them. I think we need to hear more of that in the business world. Just people really being mindful about what the unique aspect is that they bring into the marketplace instead of worrying about trying to keep up with others. It's a massive shift and it's, I think, to be celebrated, a really good thing.
Yeah,
Um,
one of the things that I try to do with my brand is to see what people want, and that takes time to put something out there and then to get people's feedback for it. Like with the face mask pods, that took me months and months to originally do that. If putting the different reels up and getting different people's feedback, and I think, yeah, as we've got to see what people want as well, and as you say, see how that fits into what we are able to give and to our lifestyle and the way that we want to shape the brand, and that takes time.
Look, you've actually tapped into one of the fundamentals of marketing in the way that you've done that. And the way to remember it is list, offer, and then copy. And what that means is the list is the audience who are you speaking to. Then you create the offer for them. Then you write the copy or, articulate that offer. And it's exactly what you did in just listening to your audience and creating products that are genuinely useful and innovative. I mean, it's so nice to see something that's not just same old, especially in the skincare niche, because it's so competitive to stand out from the other brands. And you've built something that is completely different. It's genuinely convenient and beautiful to use. Like it feels like a little mini day spa right there, and it's not expensive. You can do it every week or more often if you wanted to. And knowing that that largest organ of your body, your skin, you're only putting goodness into it. So it doesn't get any better than that as far as I'm concerned. Yeah. How did you find your first wholesale customers?
My first wholesale customer was Replenish Refill,
Mhm.
and
Shout out to them, huh?
for anyone in the Harvey Bay who hasn't
Yes.
been to Replenish Refill, it is just the most beautiful store. I've always loved going in there. Yeah, it's just, yeah, the music they have playing, the atmosphere, they only have products in there from people that are made with love. It's really
Mm,
carefully curated. It's such a beautiful store. And I used to go in there, still do, very, very regularly and chat to them. And it like this is way before I started even to studying to be a cosmetic chemist. And I'd chat to them about what I was doing. And as I was making things, I'd just give them things to try. And so they've followed along my journey right from even before. And the owners back then, it's changed ownership now, but the owners back then, they had dash hounds too. So we go in and talk about dash hounds all the time.
yes, the dash hounds, big part of the world and the inspiration and the joy.
Absolutely.
That's what really, really lovely. So, if you were to think 3 years from now, have you thought about where you'd like Botanical Skincare Lab to be or what?
3 years ago, I never imagined that my business would be what it is today. So, yeah, I kind of have plans, but then again, it gets shaped by how well things are received and what direction I go in. So, yeah, I've got ideas in my mind, but I'm very open to being molded by yeah, what people are looking for and what the need is in the
Mm.
marketplace.
I think that's really good to be flexible like that. I mean, you could take the approach of Steve Jobs and say, if I'd asked people what they wanted, they would have said a better horse and cart, with Henry Ford. And Steve just saying with Apple, I'll design what I think, that they should have. And that's fine if you've got a mission in mind that you think is really going to be helpful to people. But at the same time, if you know you're just producing something that's useful and beautiful, which for me, that's the criteria with any clients I work with, is that it needs to be useful or beautiful or both, the old quote. And I should remember who that's from. I pop it into the comments. But you're doing both and shaping it according to what your customers love and will use is a really nice way to just flow forward with the business growth. So that's really good. Have there been any surprises along the way that you didn't expect as far as, I guess, just getting the word out to let people know about your brand?
Yeah, I was going to say one of the biggest surprises was dropping my prototype on the bathroom floor and coming up with such an innovative product. That was my biggest surprise.
Yes,
I never ever thought that
a
I would
very happy
formulate
accident.
something that didn't exist on the market before. That really blew me away. What surprised me with getting the word out, I think I knew that it would be very difficult and slow and hard without a big advertising budget. One thing in Hervey Bay, there is the most amazing women's networking group. It's called the Busy Women's Networking Group, I think is the name of it, run by a
Mhm.
beautiful lady, Kylie. And it's got such a beautiful, supportive, amazing bunch of women in it. That's, yeah, just being able to get together with them. And we've Kylie's run 2 conferences now, one just a couple of months ago and the year before that. And yeah, just being in a room full of other local women is really encouraging.
That's beautiful. And again, as things are changing so fast with tech, just to have that solid in-person network is something to be valued, isn't it? It's very good. Yeah. Okay. So I guess, is there anything, if somebody was to start a business now in the skincare industry, would you give them any advice? Is there any, like, one thing you'd say, don't forget to do this or make sure you don't do that?
To be unique. I used to look at what other people were doing, but these days I don't because I want to be unique. So there's lots of people all doing the same thing, but you have to find what's you. And
Well said. I love it. Seth Godin talks about that too. When people ask him, how do I get people to talk about my product? The simple answer is make a product worth talking about. And that's exactly what you've done with your whole range. It's beautiful. And then with the face pods that are completely innovative. And then you've taken it to another level with the Atelier where you've got the packaging and trays reflecting the roots of where you live and the community you're in. I just can't think of a better way to sort of wrap everything up that you do in your business.
it's
It's
just
just
so
beautiful.
exciting, isn't it?
It's just lovely. So I really appreciate your time because I think just sharing your journey today, I think it will be inspirational to other people who are thinking about starting or in those early stages where they might be doubting themselves, but it looks like things are moving at a glacial pace. It's quite normal and it's quite okay for that to happen. You know, everybody talks about overnight success and that's usually 30 years in the making. So, you know, you're not always going to be the outlier that just goes viral overnight, and that's okay. And it's just using the resources you have to their best potential, which it looks to me like you do very, very well. I really like that, and being unique. It's, bravo is what I say, bravo. Yeah. So thank you for your time. If people want to find your products and connect with you, where should they do that?
My website is botanicalskincarelab.com.au and on Instagram, Botanical Skincare Lab, or the Facebook name is Botanical Skincare Lab Harvey Bay.
Description. So
I'd love to hear from anyone because I love hearing feedback about what people are looking for, what they enjoy, what their dream product. I love hearing. So anyone, please feel free to get in touch with me.
yeah, and just as a disclosure for anybody listening, um, I've bought Kim's products just freely because I wanted to see what they were like. And as I say, I love them. I've got quite a few now and have reordered a couple of times. Kim has sent me extra things, which, thank you. That's very, you know, as I said to you, you've sent me a few masks and I'll need to use them before I can buy some more. But I guess I want people to know too that I believe in friends pay full price. I don't believe in sort of trying to get discounts or freebies from people or promoting something because I get something out of it particularly. So yeah, I just wanted to sort of throw that out there. I do use and love your products and very happy to be buying those for the long term. So
Mm,
I know
thank
that
you.
when we finish up where we're living at and we plan to sail long term, things like the shampoo bar and it's all just so lovely. When I took them over to Racewick on Hamilton Island, they're fantastic for traveling with, and the products are just really really good, and I appreciate them. So thanks for making them.
Thank you, Joe. Thank you. I love hearing from people that love using them. It makes me really happy.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thanks for your time. And for anybody listening, do go and check out Kim's website and socials and order something and see how beautiful it feels. You won't regret it. So thanks.
Thank
We'll
you,
see you
Joe.
next week.